Hello, and welcome to Alienate UK with your hosts, Andy and Nicole.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hello, welcome to Alienate UK with myself and Nicole. Thank you for tuning in. So I have I have two updates. One I can tell you and tell you, and one I can tell you without telling you. So I'll do the one. So I'll do the one that I can tell you. I'll put a link up in the chat first. So we have got the guest coming on. I've just spoke to her and she doesn't mind me doing this. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes. So this is the link. If you want to click on it, you'll find out more as to what exactly is going on. So I was going to be doing a guest speak. Is it speak guest? Guest speaker. I've got it wrote down in front of me, so I can't say it. So I was going to be a guest speaker at Paracon 2025 in September the 6th and 7th. But it got cancelled, kind of, and it kind of like died. So anyway, this was the NDA that I couldn't talk about. Anyway, so here it is. Ignore the photograph, that is awful, but it was the only one I had at the time. So it is now Paracon Back from the Dead 2025. It's on Sunday the 17th of August. It's a zombie stage, and there's 16 guest speakers, including myself. But I'm going to be vending there as well. So I'm going to be selling merchandise. So it's just for the day. It's free tickets. So it's a free event. They've found a way of getting around it and doing that. So yeah. So I'm going to be guest speaking at that along with others. That has a couple of guest speakers that are going to be there that are going to be coming on the show to do specials, but you're not going to find out until the day of who the guest is when they come on. Right, so that's one that I can talk about. So do order your tickets. It should be a good event. I'm not sure how many tickets are out, but as I said, the tickets are free, so it's all good. The other one is something very exciting is going to be going on with myself. Even Nicole doesn't know anything.
No,
I've not told you anything. So I had a quick discussion on Monday. It kind of like it wasn't gonna. This was never wrote down or anything like that. Someone messaged me. We started chatting. We talked about stuff, and it kind of like, oh, okay, then let's do this. So something is going to be happening over the next few weeks. You will find out more and more as we get closer to what's going on. But it's very, very exciting. It's to do with the paranormal. It's going to be a different genre as to what I kind of do now. Yeah. And that's all I can say. But it's very exciting. It's the other person involved is someone that we all know. We all know. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Is it Tommy?
Nothing to do with, no, he's too busy at birthdays. So that's it. That's all I can say at the moment. But if you keep your eye out on YouTube, someone's going to be releasing some stuff, but I can't tell you who, what, where, why, or anything like that. But it's
All right,
very
everybody,
impressive.
put your guesses in now.
But the thing is, it just come out of the blue. We was having a chat, and it's like, this, that. How about Oh, go on. That sounds very, very exciting. Let's do that. Oh my God, yes, let's do that. And it just
Redacted.
Yeah, it come out of nowhere. Honestly, it really did. I'm like, oh my God, couldn't believe it. So that's it. Yes, and we're doing the 10 membership monthly giveaway. So we're doing the 10 membership monthly giveaway, but I'm going to bring the guest on first because they're waiting patiently, and I promised it'd only be 2 minutes, and I think it's been about 15. So here is tonight's. Yeah, I think 4 minutes. That's not too bad. So our guest is Shrader Hill. Welcome to the show. So Sin is a author. She's a paranormal investigator, which is the founder of Elk Valley Paranormal down in Tennessee. Welcome and thank you for waiting and coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really been looking forward to this one.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
When people say that.
Yeah. And you've got me wondering, Andy, what in the world have you got coming up?
Do you know what? I would love to tell everyone right now, but it's kind of not my place to say anything, if that makes sense. So I need to. I suppose it's another unwritten NDA.
Yeah.
In a way. So, but it's very exciting. It's really good.
That's the way to keep the tension up, though. Just kind of throw it out there, and the audience has to guess and wonder. And oh my gosh, they've got to keep coming back to find out more and more and more. So that's a good marketing plan.
The thing is, if you keep him talking, he'll give you more hints until you can figure out what it is.
Really? Really? Good to know. Good to know.
One time he accidentally told everybody where he was going to be that weekend at what show. When you were at the comedy show. Yeah, remember when you were going to that comedy show or something?
Oh, yeah.
And like, oh, everybody, I'm going to be here.
Yeah. I'm just excited to go. Easily excited. That's what it is.
I'm excited for you. So, I have no idea what it is, but I'm excited for you.
Me too.
It was just, we just started off as a conversation, and then you kind of like the thought process, you're thinking and talking and writing and leaving voice notes, and it's like, so I suggested something. The other person was like, oh my God, yes. I'm like, oh my God, yes. And that was it. And that's the end for now. Oh, sorry, no, not the end. To be continued.
To be continued. Yes.
We're here to talk about sin, Andy.
Yes, we do.
So maybe we'll find out what Andy's up to. So I am in southern Middle Tennessee, Shrader Hill. I am just above Huntsville, Alabama. So most people have heard of Nashville and Huntsville, Alabama. So Nashville is about 2 hours north of me. Huntsville is about 30 miles south of me. And it's right in the Bible Belt. So when I started doing what I'm doing, everybody thought I was devil worshiping.
Wow.
So there you go.
Did you have to hide away or lock yourself up so no one could get to you?
Some people I just didn't let know what I was doing. My mother was buying me crucifixes and crosses, all kinds of things, just every holiday. Here, have this, and I love them. And I've got them. And she's even got one from overseas that supposedly has a little bit of the rock from where Jesus walked. So she was really worried. She's really worried. Now, when we do an investigation, she'll say, what happened? Let me know. How did it go? Did you find anything? Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So you find, how long have you been doing this?
just since 2013, not very long at all. I wanted to, I just didn't know how. And
Yeah.
I joined a group. I had a group come down to investigate my mom and dad's store that had closed. And I wanted to see if my dad was still there. We had lost him in 2001, and this was 2013. So it had been closed a while. Power, all utilities were off, and I was the trigger object. I stood in the dark and asked questions, hopefully, trying to get dad to answer or do something.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happened until the group actually took a break and a rock got thrown. Kind of like, hey, I was just getting started. You guys get back to work right now. So they did. They only caught 2 EVPs. One was this really weird holy mackerel, which nobody in my family ever used. But the building had been a turkey slaughterhouse back in the 1800s. It had been an ice cream factory. It had been a Red Cross building, furniture store, just a little bit of everything. And then the auto parts store my mom and dad had. So we figured the holy mackerel came from the 50s before, somewhere along in there. But no idea who said it. The other one they got from the basement, which used to be street level, and it was turkeys clucking. And it was from the turkey slaughterhouse. You can imagine those turkeys were happy. Yeah. They were, turkeys on their worst day ever.
Yeah, that's sad. Poor turkey.
Poor turkeys, I know. So that got me hooked on audio stuff. And I actually joined that group that evening. They asked me to be in their group. And so they trained me on what equipment to use, how to go about investigating, questions to ask people, when you're going into someone's home, how you do that, and how you ask them history questions, just different things. So they trained me on all of that. And then a year later, I formed Elk Valley Paranormal, EVP for short, because I did love finding the EVPs. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Do you find that people are more accepting now than they were like 10 years ago?
They are. Yeah. It's like it's almost come mainstream.
Yes.
It's really weird how from, you couldn't, back growing up in the 60s and 70s, nobody talked about, even in the 80s and early 90s, people did not talk about hauntings and things like that unless it was somewhere else, not in their house, not in something that they had seen, because people would think you're crazy. And, back in the earlier days, you would have been sent to a psychiatrist immediately. It's like, she is seeing something and we think she's lost her marbles. So let's get her some help. But now, it's just everybody's doing it, which can be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if you're not trained. So, and I was trained for about a year because I didn't know anything. So if you don't know anything, find you a group or two, you can go back and forth, and you're going to learn something different from every group you're around. And it's really cool because you can get new ideas for how to investigate, new ways to use the equipment, or new pieces of equipment you'd never think of using, just everyday things. So I love doing co-investigations with other teams, and everybody's still learning. So it's a good thing.
There are no real experts in the field.
No. And if they say they are, run.
We can say that here.
Let's slap him, then run. Yeah. There are professionals, but not experts. There's a big difference, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I'm not a professional
Yes.
investigator. We don't charge when we go in somewhere. Um, it's just kind of, I think it's against karma, kind of, if you do that. And who wants to have any extra bad luck coming your way? Not me. I've got enough going on, so I don't need any extra coming back to haunt me.
No.
And it can get a little exploitative.
No,
if you're
I'm good for that.
Andy, I think you're delayed. Are you delayed? Say something.
I am. I don't know what's going on. Hello. Anything?
Yeah, I can hear you, but like your video is not matching up with your audio.
But he looks good.
Sounds about right.
He's just frozen like this.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll just sit here for hours.
Just start doing poses because you're frozen. And
right. Let me. If you two carry on. Let me restart it. You two carry on. I'm just going to refresh it.
Well, we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about you when you refresh. So, what do you think Andy's doing, Nicole?
I think he stirred up the fae that are in his house and probably pissed them off, and they're messing with his internet.
Oh,
he does have little fae in his house.
Those fae can be little mean things.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yes, I think so.
You hear me? You see me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right.
And we
Sorry,
can see
one second. I've just got right, I'm just swapping everything around. Right. Good, let's go.
Back to your corner.
Oh, I do apologise.
No worries.
Happens.
Oh.
So it wouldn't be Alien UK without some technical difficulty somewhere.
When does Mercury retrograde end? Is that today? Tomorrow? It's somewhere soon. Oh wait, no, it's not until next week. It's
April
like the
7th.
Yeah. So we're still in that.
It needs to hurry the hell up. It's so annoying.
Wow.
Since we got told about that, it's like nothing. Things have gone right, but the things that you need to work, it's like, nah, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's going up in the sky? So,
and for us,
it's annoying.
Here, it's not just technology. It's anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Both of us have gotten sick. I know. I just went on an investigation with Magical Journey, who's in the chat. We went to Pulaski to Antoinette Hall, an old opera house, and then we both came home with something virusy, and my voice is back now. So, hoping Daniel's feeling better too. But anything that could go wrong has gone wrong in the last month.
Yeah. That'll do that. We just had that like crazy planetary alignment.
Yes. And that week was just crazy weird. The whole week. When was the full moon? Was somewhere close by that too. The blood moon.
Oh. Is it about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
it's around about 10 days.
The 13th to the 14th, a blood moon lunar eclipse.
So all kinds of things have been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just over 2 weeks. Oh, nearly 3 weeks ago. Well, they just need to sort themselves out and let us do what we need to do and let us do it without messing it all up for everyone.
Just calm down.
Have you ever seen that that meme that's like, I need a creepy girl with crystals to tell me what planet is like ruining my life? I'm like, it's Earth. It's Earth.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It so is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, there's a question.
There is from Shelly.
Yes.
Question: do you ask questions when you don't know how to explain why you're asking?
And
I think I understand that, but
do you ask questions
I
when
don't
you don't
get
know
it.
how to
Sorry.
explain why you're asking?
do you ask like the spirits? I'm assuming. Do you ask the spirits questions when you don't know how to explain to them why you're asking? Maybe.
That's what I got from that.
Okay.
Like when you go into a location,
Mm-hmm.
do you explain to the spirits what you're doing?
I always walk in first of all and say hello, and say my name. I try to know a little bit of history about the place before I go in, and that kind of helps with any kind of questions that I might have to ask. So I don't know if that answers that or not. Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait and see if anything else comes through from Shelley.
Yeah.
She'll let us know if we're right or wrong.
In the meantime, like, so how do you approach like your line of questioning? Do you go right for the what's your name? How old are you? When did you die? Kind of thing? How do you come up with your questions?
Depending on what we're using. So if I'm doing Spirit Box, I might ask more questions like that just to get some immediate response if I can hear it, and then play it back later. Or a burst session of an EVP burst session with just the recorder going for maybe a minute, asking questions like that, hoping to get a response. So it just really depends on where I am, who I'm with too. You kind of play off each other on what is working that night. Because sometimes you walk into a place that you might have been there 5 to 10 times, and the energy was always really good. Everything's, you always get something, and then you walk in one night and everything's flat.
We've had
And
that too.
yeah, and it's just like the spirits on that evening decided, oh God, I can't deal with them tonight. I'm going into the next room, and anytime you're going into another room, they're going to the next one and then the next one just to stay away from you.
Yeah.
So,
Why you got to booby trap all the rooms.
right. Yeah. And I don't have that much equipment. Now, some of my friends do. They've got plenty of cameras, like Austin that's in the chat. He's got lots of cameras he can set up. But your chat is wild right now. You got a lot of good people in it. A lot of my buddies have jumped on. There's Pam and Al.
Og said that you played a really clear EVP when you were on Tommy's channel. When you were on Tommy's show.
Let's get freaky.
Yeah, I love Tommy. Tommy's such a cool person. He's my favorite ginger, other than Jamie on Outlander. He is.
Did you know?
He's a pretty good ginger.
Do you know? He's had his hair cut in a mullet.
What? No.
No,
yeah,
he doesn't.
I was on the phone to him on Thursday or Friday last week, and he said he's growing his hair and he's going to get a mullet. So I forgot to tell you all. And
was this yesterday?
No, this was like last Thursday, so about 5 days ago.
All right.
So
you know what yesterday was?
Yeah.
But he he said to his barber, his barber said to him, goes, "Are you sure?" He went, "Yeah. I know I look like a dickhead, but I don't care." No?
Oh my God.
That was his words, not mine. So
I love him. He's great.
I'd say he's my top 3 favorite gingers.
He's my top 2, honestly. But I'm sorry that Jamie beats him out by just a little bit. I apologize. Yeah.
No, I think he's got to be my number 1. I don't know many, and I'm not. There's a lot in my family, so I'm not including them. No offense. Well, there is offense. I don't care. But anyway, no, Tommy's my favorite. When he turns up,
I know. He's always at a birthday
Oh.
party.
He
Aw.
is. But in the
So
next few,
yeah,
sorry, I was just going to say, in the next few weeks, I'm going down to Tommy's and we're going to stay over in the Devil Dog Woods. He's only like 2 hours drive away from me, so
really.
we're gonna go down and we're gonna camp out and both
Wow.
be scared.
Wow. You'll have a blast though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely be fun. Drinking his cheap cider while we're there.
Someone had asked back in the chat, OGG of UK,
Yes.
Yeah.
Really.
about the EVP I played on Tommy's show. So, a little background on that. My fourth book was about signs of our loved ones after they passed. And I started writing that book in 2020, and then all hell broke loose with COVID. And I put the book down, didn't pick it back up the next year. And then in 2022, I started it back up, and I had gotten stories from all over the country and even one from the UK to put in that story about signs that people have come back to say hello or check on them, or even pets. Cardinals, pennies from heaven, feathers,
Yeah.
song playing on the radio all the time. A photograph pops up just every once in a while, just when you need it. And even dreams and or apparitions actually showing up and you getting to see your loved one. So also near-death experiences. That's what this book was about. And I didn't have a lot, so I had to reach out to other people to fill it in. And as I started it back up, I we lost my nephew, and he was my mini me. He had I had started training him to be my videographer for Elk Valley Paranormal, and he was going on all the investigations with us and learning from my co-founder, especially Sean. Sean would say, "Okay, if we've got any spirit around here that can speak to us, get as close to the red dot as you can, speak as loudly as you can, and hopefully we'll hear you later." And so he'd heard this over and over. We lost him. And actually, we're coming up on his third angelversary on the 6th. So he was only 19 and a half. And like I said, mini me, he liked all the stuff I did. Really, he liked all the stuff my husband doesn't like going on ghost hunts and murder mysteries and, just stuff like that. So he would help me at author book signings and just a cute kid. And we were very close. And then he had an accident and we lost him immediately.
Oh.
So after the funeral, he started showing up to his mom almost immediately and to his grandmother. And then I was like, oh, but I'm your favorite aunt. You haven't shown up to me. Why not? And I would talk to him, and, I wasn't getting anything. So it was several months later in February of 23 that my sister was telling me a story about something that had come up that almost had to have some kind of divine intervention. And the divine intervention was around Wyatt, my nephew. It was something that was put together so well that Wyatt had a hand in it somehow. And so she's telling me this story, recording it. I'm recording it on my phone, and I'm talking to her. She's talking, and the cat, the dog are asleep. Both of them are asleep. We've got the TV on, but it's on mute. And that's it. We didn't hear this at the time. And it was such a hard story to hear. Anything about Wyatt is hard to hear still. It's very hard. But I had to wait about a month or two, I can't remember now, to transcribe that. And so I was playing it back and I was transcribing, and 6 minutes and 42 seconds in, I hear Wyatt's voice.
Wow.
And that's what they're talking about, this EVP. So if you'd like for me, I can play it right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, I don't care. I won't tell you what he's saying, just so to see if you can hear.
Yeah.
You're going to hear my sister speaking, and let me make sure I've got my sound up. And then he actually did 2 little taps. We didn't hear that either. And then he speaks. So
I said, yeah. And then he said,
you hear that?
Then he said, I said, yeah. And then he said,
you hear that?
Then he said,
one more
I
time.
heard the 2
his name was
taps.
Wyatt, and he drove an El Camino. And I said, yeah. And then he said,
you hear that?
Then he said,
Was that not you saying, did you hear that? Or somebody in the room?
I thought that was somebody else. I thought that was a person there.
It is the clearest and loudest EVP
Wow.
I've ever heard, much less gotten. And you want to hear it one more time?
Yes.
Please.
Now that you know what you're listening for.
Okay.
and I said, yeah. And then he said,
you hear that?
Then he said,
It's like he's
Because-
tapping and then asking you, did you hear
Yeah.
that?
And
Well,
he's smiling as he's saying it, because he was just a little prankster, and just, we were always laughing and always cutting up. And if I had thought about it, I would have already been looking through my audio to see if I had a sign from him. But even if I don't get another one, I actually saw him after that. I saw him in Florida at the condo we always go to. And it was that next year. And it was right after his birthday is when we go. And we would always celebrate his birthday and that kind of thing. But right after that, we were either getting ready to go to dinner or we had just gotten back. And so it was getting darker outside. But I saw this golden reflection. And out of the corner of my eye, I started to turn, and it was Wyatt just standing in the condo. It just right with us while we were talking about being there. And of course, when I turned all the way, he was gone. So it's almost like my mind says, you can see it from the periphery, but you're not ready to see it full on yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but he's my baby.
What I find amazing about that EVP is that he was a lot louder than the other person that was talking.
Yes.
And
It's
I've never heard an EVP that loud or that clear in my life.
I haven't either, ever. And it's because he had listened so many times to Sean. Get as close as you can to that red dot, talk as loud as you can, and hopefully we can hear you. And he did exactly what we always ask them to do. I just wish, I wish he was still with us.
Yeah.
But even if that's the only EVP I ever get of him, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do you think it's almost better to not get constant messages because then you're not always searching for it?
I would like to get more just because I don't get a lot. My sister, of course, his mom, gets things quite often. And my mom occasionally gets some, but not as much as his mother because they were very close. So, I mean, I get it. And I know he's probably got other things to do. I'm sure he has met all of the famous musicians because he was a musician himself. He warmed up to Metallica to do the Star Spangled Banner for
Wow.
basketball season. He would be, just finger picking and all that kind of stuff. So really, really talented guy. And I'm sure he's found plenty of people to talk about things with, and the most interesting ones around, I'm sure he's already
Yeah.
connected with. So,
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get funny messages and everything, but there are
I'm
some
just-
people that come to events and like things like that who are constantly seeking out mediums, who are constantly like, oh, is my father there? Is my brother there? Like always. And it becomes all consuming for them.
yeah. And that's kind of unfortunate when it kind of rules you, but usually it comes unexpectedly and at times when you really need it. And, even though I recorded her back in February doing that and then had to wait a month or so to transcribe it, it was at a time I needed to hear his voice. I mean, when I heard that, I wait a minute, and I backed it up because I thought, no, that was my imagination. And I played it again. I thought, oh my God. And I went and banged on the bathroom door to see if Greg was in the shower yet, my husband, and he wasn't. And he thought something drastic had happened to someone else in the family, and came out. What's wrong? What's wrong? I said, nothing. I just need you to sit down and listen to something. Is everybody okay? Everybody's fine. I just need you to sit down and listen. And so I played it to him, and immediately he said, "That's Wyatt." Yeah, that's Wyatt.
It's crazy when someone can recognize the voice like that. That is a clear EVP. We've only got one ever like that, and it was during a live.
Yeah.
He catches somebody on the live.
Wow.
See, the EVPs I've heard or I've gotten are all like that mechanical,
Yeah.
robotic
Or
type
whisper.
of sound. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Or
like
no accent, but
Yeah.
clearly you could hear
Yeah.
his accent.
And I've had people say, well, people aren't going to believe you. But here's the thing with that. I don't care, because I know that was my message from him to me. And nobody else has to believe it. I play it for people that ask to hear it, and they can debunk all they want. But I know that's my baby talking to me.
But that's also the thing, because when you're listening back to an EVP, they weren't there. They could say, oh, that's another person in the room, but they don't know who was there.
Yeah.
Unless it's on video or whatever.
Right.
They have to take your word for it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this way they have to take my word for it, because I had no camera going. It is on my phone. So I've had people say, well, you could have had something else on your phone. Phones aren't reliable. Okay. No. And or you could have had something else playing in the room. Okay. No. So yeah, Daniel, it's exactly right. It's what 100%. I felt. Yeah. So anyway, that's the story about my favorite EVP.
That's awesome.
Oh, I think it's my favorite EVP now.
Right? It's a good one.
It is. It's just I'm blown away by it.
Yeah,
really
and when I played it for Tommy, he was sitting there like you guys were, and waiting to hear that mystery. Yeah,
that's what I was waiting for. And then when you said I'll play it again, I'm like, am I missing something? Am I?
Because she's waiting on that, like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, or get out, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Mm,
But
no,
so cool. That really is.
It is.
It's magical, is what it is.
yeah.
Honestly, it's just kind of jealous, to be honest.
I'll never get another one like it, and that's okay
No.
too.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter though, does it? Because you've got that
It
one,
doesn't.
Mm-mm.
and that's everything for you.
It is, and I have got it saved everywhere. I've got it saved on everything I can possibly have it saved on.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, from every computer, every phone, every hard drive, every external hard drive. I've got it saved everywhere.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to lose that.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
So I want to play you the one that I got that was similar, and I want to get your opinion on it. What you think?
Okay.
I'm asking Andy, and he's not answering me, so I'm gonna assume it's okay.
Oh,
I said, is it okay? I said it's okay if I play mine and get some opinion.
Yeah. I've shut my eyes so I can listen better. Ignore me. You might need to tilt your phone up.
So somebody at the end who says, "Who are you?" was not there.
Nice. I can't hear it really good, but I couldn't hear. Everything was going in and out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's my system or.
No,
or
I was getting that as well.
Yeah, so we were up in an attic, full moon was, and doing like a live little walkthrough, and all you hear is, "Who are you?" And they didn't hear it at the time, and it was just on the live. Somebody was like, "Who is that?"
Those are the best.
Yep.
Those
it
are
was
the
just like a real person's voice.
I love it. I love it.
No, I've got one that I got. I can play it for you now if you want. So I interviewed Nathaniel. I think it's the first interview that I did with Nathaniel Gillis, and we was chatting. I asked him a question. Do you want to have a listen to it? And this is the kind of thing that I was expecting from you. And this was my favourite. Sorry, Nathaniel, but you've gone now. But if you listen, just after I ask him the question, you'll hear something just before he answers.
Mm-hmm.
It's of deception here. And so I wouldn't trust myself around them. And so I wouldn't trust myself. If they wanted to manipulate me and my perceptions, it'd be difficult. They wanted to manipulate me and my perceptions. It'd be difficult for me not to just go with it.
No, great answer. Thank you. No,
yep.
Great answer. Right, do one more question before the break. Do one more question before the break. All right. I'll do this one. This is from Rick Ellen again. Does Nathaniel believe that there is no life elsewhere in the universe? No life.
Well, in that aspect of it, I don't know that there isn't. Well, in that aspect of it, I don't know that. I mean, I could say I believe or I don't believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say I believe or I don't believe.
Is it coming in double for everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It comes in double. Andy, hit mute on your thing while you play it.
No, because I'm playing it direct from StreamYard, so it shouldn't. I'll do it again. I'll mute myself. So let's see. Let me know, yeah?
It's of deception here. And so I wouldn't trust myself around them. And so I wouldn't trust myself. If they wanted to manipulate me and my perceptions, it'd be difficult for me not to just go with it. It'd be difficult for me not to just go with it.
No, great answer. Thank you. No, great answer. Right, do one more question before the break. Do one more question before the break. All right. Do this one. This is from Rick Ellen again. Does Nathaniel believe that there is no life elsewhere in the universe?
Well, in that aspect of it, I don't know that there isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say I believe or I don't believe.
That was better. At the end.
Yeah.
You didn't unmute yourself now.
I had another screen up. I had another screen open with the audio, so it's coming through twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that was the only one that I've ever caught on doing an interview. and I got you know. So I don't know if they're telling me I know or telling Nathaniel he knows, but it was coming through my speaker into my headphones. I didn't hear it at the time, and it was Jason Pritchard, one of the viewers, that messaged me and told me about it. So I listened to it back. I'm like, oh my God. So that is now not at the top of the list anymore. Sorry.
Oh,
It's still
no.
a good one, but
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That's what I was expecting, a whispery, mechanical type voice. And then you just knock the
I'm
ball out of the
sorry.
park, literally. It's good. It's so good.
But Nicole, play yours again. Somebody else asked for you to play yours again too.
I'm
It's-
struggling to hear.
It's still going in and out just a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. Was it?
I'll link it for everybody.
Yeah, let me check the audio on this. I might be able to. No, I can't do anything on this. If you go into your settings, Nicole, and go into audio, have you got reduce mic background noise? Is that ticked or unticked?
Let me check. Talk about something else for 1 second. I'm just going to get it up from TikTok and share the screen because I have it on TikTok.
All right, okay. So, what projects have you got coming up in the near future that you can talk about?
Yeah, I can actually talk about all of mine. So none of mine are secret.
Oh, showing off again.
No, it's just I have nothing to hide. It's just I wish I did. I kind of do. I kind of have one that is kind of hidden, just a little.
Yeah,
not much.
Can you mention anything about it?
I am going somewhere in May to an odd place.
There you go.
In the US.
Yes.
For an investigation?
Mm-hmm. And that's all I can say. So I'll just be like Andy. That's all I can say.
Serious.
Yeah.
Oh me. Let's see. What was I going to say? I'm working. Oh, okay. I've got 5 books online right now. That are on Amazon. I'm working on 6, 7, and 8. And 6 is going to be about near-death experiences, angel rescues, and spirit warnings. So that one's going to come out next. And then the follow-up to Signs from Beyond. So it's going to be more Signs from Beyond. And then another darker stories coming up.
Wow.
All that. I've got a couple of speaking engagements. I'll be talking about signs from our loved ones. And I'll be talking about Wyatt again. One of those is coming up the 12th at the Night House in Hopkinsville. And I'll actually be speaking alongside the Bell Witch historian. So he's very interesting. You should talk to him. Pat Fitzhugh. He's been studying that case for over 40 years. So he's pretty much known as the person to go to if you want to know anything about the Bell Witch case.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Hopkinsville. That is one of my all-time favorite, the Hopkinsville
Goblins.
One-Stop Goblin. That was it. Oh my! What a story!
Yes, and it's their 70th anniversary this August. So
that long ago.
Yes, 70 years. And they're going to have a celebration in August to commemorate the 70th year. But also, they're going to have Goblin Con in October.
Oh my God, I need to go.
Yes, you do. I'll be speaking about signs of our loved
Oh.
ones there too. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really
See,
fun.
we don't get anything like that over here.
You
I don't
should
know
come
why.
here.
He's coming here in July.
I need to live in the US.
Yes. Tommy really wants to move as well.
I know we've been talking. We're trying to work something out between us, but yeah.
You guys
I've
you got to get the wives on board.
But my cousin, she's married a guy in the US. They got a kid together, and she lives out in Arizona, quite near to the Mexican border.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been invited over there.
It's a lot happening there too. A lot going on out there.
Yeah. So
I lived in Phoenix, in that Phoenix area for a little while. Beautiful.
Yeah. See, that's a place I need to go, i.e. Stardust Ranch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to go to several different places in the U.S.
Yeah, everywhere. Yes. Just every state, every city, every town, every village.
Just because he gets it from all angles. He has to do the UFO thing. He has to do the Bigfoot thing, and then the ghost thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Have to. I mean, he's got to come see you in New York, right? He's got to come see me in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, well, I'll take you. You can meet Pat firsthand. We can go up to the Bell Witch Cave.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
yeah. I know. It's just Albert Rizal is such a great guy. He's wrote 1 million books. He's down in Florida, so he's not 1 million miles away from you. And he was on the other week, and some guy came to valet his car that his wife got. But I've not told you. So I was chatting to Albert the other week. The guy who come and cleaned his car, who had that dodgy logo on his business card, Albert contacted him to ask him to come back. He ignored him or told him no.
That's because he probably saw the show.
I don't know what it was, but there's some weird stuff going on.
He's like, I'm not going back to these nutters.
The guy won't come back now.
Oh my god.
He's like, no. And he just ignored him. Something like that, anyway.
And everybody cyber stalking me and contacting me about what my Illuminati logo is. Oh my god.
Maybe if you call him,
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, I need to do a road trip from north, south, east, west, and everywhere else in between.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to rent a car and drive on the wrong side of the road.
I'm just in the wrong country, aren't I?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yes.
Well, I can hook you up with some people, and I'm sure Nicole can too. Mm-hmm. So rent a car. Nicole can drive you around first, different places. We can pass the car off. Somebody else can drive you somewhere else. You know, Austin is up in Ohio.
Yeah.
Magical Journey, he's down around the Clarksville area, and we can both meet you. So one of us can drive you.
That's where Nathaniel is.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get him across state lines. Have you ever seen that thing like Flat Stanley, where the little picture, it travels across the country, and you take pictures with where he is now? We're gonna do it with Andy. We're just gonna pass him along.
Let's do it. I want to be involved in this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Everybody has to post their pictures on Instagram. Where's Andy?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna have to do a GoFundMe, aren't I?
Yeah, do it.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason,
I'm going to do GoFundMe because, we're going Gettysburg, we're going Florida, we're going New York, going Midwest, quite literally, going to Ohio, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico.
Yeah. We'll go to Indiana, we'll go to Missouri, we'll go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia, Mount Pleasant, Mothman. Yeah,
Yep.
got to go down there.
And Trans-Allegheny, which I'm going to in May.
When are you going?
And I need to travel.
I am going May, the first week of May.
I'm so jealous.
2nd.
I'm jealous. That's on a bucket list.
It's going to be good. Very excited.
Yeah. So I'm going to
asylum. So Andy, it's the lunatic asylum. Trans-Allegheny.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Dad, they won't let me out if I went in there, whether it's closed or not. I'd just be there forever. That'd be it. But
I haven't
going to. No, you need to come to the UK. Because I'm going to a cryptid conference at the end of May, and there's a lot of people coming over from the US, Bigfoot. Yeah. So you've got Ronnie LeBlanc. LeBlanc, RPG. There's loads. They're the only two that I can remember off the top of my head, but there's quite a few that are going. This is the one that Tommy's going to, and Nickname, and Bridget, and a few others. Gwendolyn Purcell, that was on the other week, she's going.
Oh, she's in Pennsylvania. We can pass you off to her too.
See?
Oh, there we go.
So many people.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, just Andy, trafficking Andy, we'll call it.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just going to do couch surfing all throughout the United States.
I don't think I'm going to have time to sleep. I'm just, Oh, where now? Let's go.
Well, you're going to have drivers. You could sleep.
Yeah,
but I'm going to miss that in between bit. They're the exciting parts, aren't they?
He's only going to see America in the dark. Because he's going to have to sleep during the day to be up investigating all night.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll sleep when I get back.
Yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
If I ever get back, that is.
Yeah.
Sleep when I'm dead if investigators aren't keeping me up all night.
Yeah. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get you two over to the UK as well.
Yeah.
I really need to go. I need to get my passport and I need to go.
I need to update my passport. I actually went to England when I was 12.
Oh, whereabouts?
We flew into Heathrow and we got to do all the touristy things, see the changing of the guard. We signed up for, right into London. And then we went to Stonehenge. And actually back then, I sat on one of the rocks.
Oh, you can't even go near them now.
Oh, I know. And you weren't supposed to sit on them then. And I got, a little like that. But I've got a picture of me sitting on one of the rocks.
Wow. Could you imagine if somehow you cracked it or did something messing around over there?
I was 12. I was like this big around.
I don't mean like that. I just mean you're going up to Stonehenge, you trip,
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to go back. There's so many. We got to tour a lot of the cathedrals and a lot of the castles. Westminster Abbey was one of my favorites. We went to Salisbury Cathedral, at Canterbury, Hampton Court, and Shakespeare's.
Hampton Court.
Shakespeare's birth.
Stratford upon Avon.
Yes, and Anne Hathaway's cottage. So got to see all the things that I would have learned in world history if I'd been good in history. But I got to experience it.
You don't appreciate it when you're that age.
You don't.
Now you're I would love to go do all that. I would soak up all the history. And when you're 12, you're like, this is boring.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because I was looking around seeing what people had on and, what are they eating? At 12, I was, I didn't eat very much, and you guys didn't really have peanut butter. So
no. You can have that back. It's awful.
They have every flavor of Haribo over there.
Oh, yes.
Really?
We have alien nuts. We have twin snakes, sour and sweet. We have and everything else in between. There's like 40, 50 different types and packets and flavors, and so yeah, I'll send some over. In fact, when I come over, that's I'm just going to bring a load of Haribo.
Yes.
Nothing else.
And then you can stock up on Swedish fish.
Yes, you get them over here, but they're rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
Really?
I bought when I was over last time. I was in Connecticut. Went to the shopping mall, and they had it's just a candy shop, and gone in. It's like, oh, why is that shops nothing like this? And I just bought. It must have been a bag like that, just full of them. Just walk. It took me about 2 days to eat them. So good. Yeah. So
Things.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, they're the best things, though, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to say, no, it's gone. Don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I've just now thinking about food, so that's not helping.
Oh, well, okay. Here's a story. So I also edit books, and
Yeah.
I finished editing my friend is a psychic medium who lives in Florida. He's from Chattanooga, but lives in Florida. And I've done a few of his books, and mostly they're spooky stories and, things like we're used to, ghosts and all kinds of things like that. But he wanted to do a cookbook of his grandmother's recipes and things that he collected over all these years. So I thought, sure, that's going to be the easiest book ever. That has been the hardest book I've ever edited. And it was, yes, Mark's book. So Mark Elliott Fultz does the illustrations, the covers, my cover art, and the illustrations in my book. And in return, I edit for him. So
yeah,
this is his cookbook. It looks like an old phone book.
That's a
right.
cookbook.
It's an 8.5 by 11. Yeah, it's my mean old grandma's good old cookbook and more. And so his grandmother wasn't a good person, but she could cook. So he had all of her recipes, plus everything that his favorites from his mother and his father. He had a really tough time growing up. And he started collecting recipes from all over the world. So he's got things from Russia, UK, Alaska, Hawaii, every state you can imagine, every place you can imagine. 1,788 recipes in this book.
Wow.
It took me 14 and a half months to edit this thing. He's also got in there funeral food and why that is such a thing, where it started.
Yeah.
And it started with the Sin Eater, really. So he's got the Sin Eater story in there and why the Sin Eater was so important back in, olden days, and how that changed from where you would actually eat part of the person that died to eating the essence of the person that died. And then that moving on to bringing fried chicken and things like that instead, so people still bring food and sometimes even order pizzas now. So all that good stuff. But he's got things in there. He's got the Pretty Sister recipes, which sound so amazing. And he's even got a chapter on Frozen Charlottes, which the Frozen Charlotte doll, I don't know if you know the story, but, and you might when I start talking about it, but she was this girl back in the 1800s who was too vain to put on a jacket or a coat over her ball gown. And her mother told her, put on something. It's freezing outside. You're going in a sleigh and it's snowy and, you know, you're going to freeze yourself to death. And she said, no, everyone should see my ball gown. And by the time she and her intended got there, he reached for her hand and she was frozen stiff. She was dead.
Oh.
So that's the Frozen Charlotte story. That's where our China dolls come from. They were known as Frozen Charlottes, and they would be penny dolls, from little tiny ones that you could buy in barrels for a penny. And they were tiny all the way up to like 2 feet long. And they would have ones that would float in the bathtub with you. And so you could have a baby floating in the bathtub. But, you know, just weird. But that's where the story came from. And there's also a dessert called Frozen Charlotte that he found so many different variations of it. One of them is a violet Charlotte. And I so want him to do this one. He is actually going to do a cooking show coming up. And he's trying to get everything together. And he's actually going to do his from the book, cook something, tell a ghost story. And he'll probably show up in costume. So you just never know. Mark's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
But so that's coming up. But I tell you what, 14 and a half months of recipes. I didn't want to see another one for a while.
Well, you know where you should get some if you need more recipes. They have a whole like series of people who put recipes on their graves.
What?
What?
Yeah, grave recipes.
Where?
Search it.
What?
Search it up. There's
Have
people
you
on
made
like
this up?
No, there's people on like TikTok and people who do this where they go around to all these all these cemeteries and get the recipes off of the graves and make them.
Stop it.
Do you know what I'd have? Do you know what I'd have on mine? Chips and gravy. Boom.
Oh,
That'd be it.
my Lord. No, I've never heard of that.
Wow.
I'm going to have to ask Mark if he's heard of it. But
I can't put it on there because you have your thing on there.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on now. Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
so Austin.
There we go.
Austin's heard of them.
Yeah.
So like people have things like this on their grave.
Wow. What?
Why?
That is, yep.
Why?
It's like their favorite recipes. What if it's like, oh, you'll get this recipe over my dead body, and then it's literally over their dead body.
So, are you then allowed to take a stove to the cemetery and the ingredient and start creating this meal?
I think you probably have to take a picture or write it down and do it at home.
No, you'd have to do it there.
What
I
a
think
great
you should
idea,
have
though.
to do it there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Mark about his second, because he does have a second one. There's another one?
Red Lantern.
What?
There's like hundreds of these. Red
Holy
Lantern
cow.
cheese dip.
What? So Mark talked about his grandmother being a recipe assassin. So do you think any of these are recipe assassins where they would leave out an ingredient or put an extra ingredient in so it didn't taste right?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I don't know either.
No.
Snickerdoodles.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard of this.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
These are
Wow.
Is this like all over the US or is it like selective parts?
I don't think it's all over.
I don't think there's anything like this in the UK.
Maybe not. Maybe people aren't as weird there.
Oh, they definitely are.
Leave it to the Americans, right?
Yeah, this is the front of the gravestone. And then on the back, Texas sheet cake. Made with love by Helen Schweers.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh
There's-
my
Wow.
goodness. I have never heard of that.
No.
Now you're gonna have to look into it and start making recipes.
I've got to. Yeah, I have to.
But it's
If it's
quite
so good,
disturbing.
Why is it disturbing? They really love that recipe.
Yeah, but he's loving it, and he's going that extra mile, isn't there?
Maybe though it was a family secret, like she's talking about, and then finally they decided, oh, go ahead and put it on my tombstone when I die.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like that's when everybody will get that recipe when you come to my funeral.
Right.
You better show
It's
up.
It's like deathbed confessions, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one. People should start making like deathbed confessions, but on their gravestone. Like,
Well, no, because that'll ruin it. Because at least this way you get to eat, you have a decent meal at the end of it.
cemetery recipes.
There you go, cemetery recipes.
Yeah,
Them are recipes.
cookbook idea.
Yeah. You know, what? Okay, that it's a little bit in the same direction, but also not. But I've always been interested in convicts' last meals that they choose.
There's some weird ones out there.
Yeah. Like from just a PBJ, peanut butter and jelly, to somebody might order from McDonald's to a steak. It's just crazy what some of them ask for.
Yeah.
Andrew Lackey from Alabama wanted turkey bologna, French fries, and a grilled cheese.
See?
What the hell? Wow.
Ajmal Kasab in Mumbai gave him a basket of tomatoes.
Ew.
Christopher Brooks, Dr. Pepper, and 2 peanut butter cups.
Tommy again.
Two. I would want more than 2.
I would want an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh.
And just keep going and go for as long as you can. Just long it out, won't you?
And they're going, it's time.
Like,
it's time.
You can eat. I can eat a lot.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried that. And they're like,
no. They're like, no, look, just choose some or you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Stephen Woods had 2 pounds of bacon, a pizza, fried chicken, ice cream, and more. A whole pizza, 2 pounds of bacon.
Wow. It'd take him about 3 hours to eat that.
That's
Peter Jamie Neal, 20 tacos, 20 enchiladas, a pizza, fried chicken, and several cakes.
Several
Cakes.
What, like, not like little muffins, like proper birthday wedding cake.
Like Tony style cakes.
Yeah, like 6-tier wedding cake and all that.
Wow.
Right, well, while we're talking about then, I've got a question for both of you. What would your last meal be if you had to choose?
I think mine would be a grilled cheese on sourdough and some kind of really good dessert, some kind of really good strawberry cake or something with real strawberries in it.
Yeah. What would yours be, Andy?
Mine would be sausage, mash, and baked beans. Yeah. With a side of cheesy garlic bread. And dessert would be a full New York cheesecake.
Oh.
Like the proper New York cheesecake. Yeah.
I don't even know. I think I'd have to go with holiday turkey sandwich from the Earl of Sandwich in Disney Springs. I'm getting specific.
Yeah. I mean, why shouldn't you be, though?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, I remember one was a single olive.
Yeah.
1 olive for a last meal.
Eileen Wernos was a cup of coffee.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'd have to have a latte or something, or a cappuccino. Need something to wash it down. Not that it's going to make much difference, is it? Really?
No.
Albert's
Wow.
having club sandwich, soft oatmeal cookies, and coffee.
Yeah. Fried chicken and German strudels.
Mm-hmm.
A slice of death by chocolate cake.
Yeah. Death by
That's a good one.
chocolate cake.
Yeah,
Good one.
here it is. Yeah, I like that. Right. Oh, so I noticed, Nicole, you put your EVP up, didn't you? And I totally ignored it.
No,
Your TikTok.
I took it when I had to put the hold on, let me put it back up.
Okay, sorry.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
bangers and mash and
Right.
baked beans. You got to have
Right,
baked
other
beans with it. Right, here we go.
All right.
You know, if you touch any of the equipment, any of these things that light up or that are lit up, it will not hurt you. You know, if you touch any of the equipment, any of these things that light up or that are lit up, it will not hurt you.
Can you
Who
hear
are
it?
you?
Who are you?
Who
Yeah,
are
Who
you?
are you? I did hear it
See,
that time.
That was so clear.
Yes.
Mhm. It sounds like an actual living human
Yes.
in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
Mhm.
Have you ever had mimics?
Yes. Yep.
We have two. We've had one. They usually mimic my co-founder Sean for some odd reason, and it'll be an EVP of Sean when he's on the other side of the building, and I'm with another person in my group, and Sean's voice will show up. Sounds exactly like him. He is not in the room. Weirdest thing how they choose who they want to mimic.
Yeah. But maybe it's like who they think is going to get a reaction.
Yeah, could be because
See,
you know where your team members are usually in an investigation.
I've never heard a mimic.
Have you not?
No, not that I know of. Not anything I'd recognise anyway.
See, now you'll be aware of it.
You've never had it where like you thought your wife was calling you or anything. You go out and she's not even home, or
We've done it where I was doing a TikTok live at this consecrated church, and she was shouting me, and she's got a loud voice. She'll quite happily admit that. And we were no more than 20 foot away from each other. We couldn't see each other, and we couldn't hear each other. And so it's still got the walls for the church. There's no roof, no windows, but they still use the grounds for burials. And you can walk around it in less than 2 minutes. It's a tiny place. So you would be able to hear or see someone walking past. Nothing for like 10 minutes. And then I started walking back up, and it started raining. And then we seen each other. Started having a go at me because she thought I'd gone to the car and left her there to like try and scare her. I'm like, no, I've been down here filming. She goes, I've been shouting, going, I've not heard anything. Absolutely
Wow.
nothing.
that's weird.
Wow, almost like she was in
the opposite to me.
Like a bubble.
Yeah. But I've had that happen to me before. But I felt that I've been pulled into something.
Mm-hmm.
But because I'm filming, like talking, narrating, reading the comments and that. But I could still hear. There's a road that runs right at the side, and you can hear the traffic going past. So it's not like I couldn't not hear anything. It just nothing makes any sense of what happened that day.
There's just so much that we don't understand, and we might never understand, but I think us working together and talking team to team and investigator to investigator, I think that helps getting each other's stories out and bouncing ideas off of each other. But something similar happened to my team with like a time slip. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, those are really weird. Things
Yes.
just kind of happened. And 3 of my teammates explained it 3 different ways. And they were all together on the same floor of the old hospital here.
Wow.
And it's just kind of creepy that you can be standing next to 2 of your friends. They're going through something completely different than you are, but you're right there together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people standing right there can have 2 completely different experiences.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Or how a spirit picks who they want to talk to.
Yeah.
You know, you can have everybody on your team might have a digital recorder going, and that spirit, they're all together. The spirit picks one person to talk to.
Although we've had a really cool experiment we did where we had 4 or 5 people with DR60s, and they were in different like areas in the room, and we asked questions, and some things came up on one but not the other. Some things came up on all of them, but at like varying volumes, like it would if somebody was actually standing in the room. So that's pretty cool to do. See,
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm.
I think so too.
very tedious to play back all those recorders, but
Right. And have you changed in how you record? Do you record the whole thing now, or I used to go in recording from start to finish. And if you're there for 8 hours, then you've got 8 hours more to do at home.
Yeah.
So I started breaking those up a little bit, and then even doing burst sessions. So not more than a minute.
Yeah, the EVP sessions, but have you looked into the AI transcription recorders yet?
Mm-mm.
So you can let that play. You can leave it in a room and leave it sitting there for 8 hours, come back, and you can read everything that's said. So you don't have to listen.
The AI is not perfect though.
No.
AI can mess up some things. I'm actually editing for Austin for his Dead Chronicles show, that his documentary series that he's working on, and he sent me his AI for closed caption, and some of that stuff was just
Not even close.
not even close. No,
But
no.
the thing is, it'll tell you at least if it heard something, so you can go
That's
back
true.
and listen.
That
Because
is
if
so
it doesn't hear anything, it doesn't like transcribe anything.
That's
So I
true.
like it for that, where you can go back and listen. Like, okay, AI heard something here, and you can go back and try to
Yeah.
validate what it was.
Okay, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, we've got 4 questions and 5 minutes. What do you reckon?
Rapid fire.
We can do it. We could do it.
Right. So, first question from Pam Harris. She's asking, since Shrader Hill Arthur, are you going to be able to make it to Tennessee on May the 3rd?
I think she's talking about a Paracon.
Yeah.
And Pam, I'm not going to be able to, and I don't have it right next to me, but I bought your book, Pam. So when I do see you, I need you to sign it for me.
There you go.
So you'll have to write the name of your book in the chat, Pam.
Yeah, she does. I'll copy and paste it and then pop it up on the screen.
It's actually, if you are into true crime and specifically mafia, it's a short book. So very interesting. And it's her family.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bloodline.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. Right. Next question. Do you want to do this one, Nicole? This is from William Nighthawk.
Big part of our indigenous ceremonies is manifesting spirits. Do you think humans are capable of manifesting something out of fear or sorrow?
I think if there is enough energy, you can manifest basically anything. There's thought forms. If enough people are thinking, there's no telling what all can be manifested. And there's a lot that are being conjured, actually, and then they're not closing their sessions, so things are still popping through these open gateways, whether or not it was a spirit box session or Ouija board or pendulum session, copper rods, anything. Make sure you're closing your sessions, because things can still pop through at any time. But as far as I think too, you got to look at the energy, and a lot of spirits feed on the negative, and that fear, the sorrow, the anger, they tend to feed off of that a little bit more.
Yep, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Yeah. Right. Next question is from Shelley. She wants to know, I found returning is allowed for certain reasons, but only until their messages are understood. Thoughts?
Could very well be. But I also think that I tell people, if you're thinking you're seeing signs, you might be. If you think of someone and when you're seeing a cardinal or you see a penny and pick it up, and the first person that pops into your head is usually who that correlates to. Now, whether or not that is a true spiritual contact, who am I to say? But I'm not going to take it away from them to say, your loved one did not visit you. No. If they felt they were being visited, I'm not going to take that away from them. I think that with all they have, they believe that. And I know how I feel when I get my signs. Nobody can take that away from me. So, some of the signs, stories that I've gotten are just incredible, and they'll make you think, oh, well, maybe that's what happened to me. A lot of us are closed off when it comes to signs, because we've been taught that when someone dies, they go up or down and you're gone. Otherwise, you're talking to a demon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does it have to be like that? Do we know for sure? No.
We haven't got a clue. No idea.
And each person's experience is very subjective. One of the things that I've told this before, I think on my wedding day, my mom is very big on like the pennies from heaven kind of thing. She thinks it's my grandfather every time she sees it. On my wedding day, my groomsmen were being assholes out in the parking lot and throwing change at people. So I go back into the venue, and there's a penny on the train of my dress. And my mom's like, it's a sign your grandfather was here. I never had the heart to tell her. I'm like, no, it was these assholes.
She knows now.
Yeah.
See, I had.
She might still think that was a sign, regardless, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
That meant something to her, and no, I'm not taking that away.
So just quickly before we ask the question, I got a sign. So I'd gone picking the missus up from work. So I got in the car, drove to her work, sat and waited on the side street, then drove home. We called to a shop. I still didn't get out of the car, stayed in the car, got home, parked up. There was a ring on my bonnet just below the windshield, about 4 or 5 inches away from the screen. Just a silver metal ring.
Weird.
Now, I would have seen, like right in front of the driver's side, I would have seen it land. I would have heard it. Something would have happened for me to notice it. I didn't notice it until I got out of the car. Yeah, it was. I just tapped it with my finger and it slid. It wasn't stuck. There's no tack on it or nothing. There's like no idea how it got there or why it was there.
See, it's those kind of things that always make you wonder, how did it happen? I
Yeah.
know I didn't see it before. I know that.
Yeah.
But
So if somebody had placed it on the car, I'd have seen them when they're walking past.
mhm.
But where I was parked, I was on the roadside, not on the path. So they would have had to walk in on the road and play off. They could have thrown it on there, but I didn't. But I'd have heard it clang.
Did you
You'd have
think
heard.
of something? Did you think of someone when you saw that?
No, I just thought that was really weird.
Mm,
Where did it come from?
yeah. Yeah. I
It's
don't
like,
know. That is weird.
I don't know of anyone else it's happened to. I know you get like you driving along, you get bits of stone flick up from the vehicle in front and land on top, but
Mhm.
not a ring. It's like
Right.
it's big enough to go over my thumb. So
That's
I don't
weird.
know. Yeah.
Mhm.
It
Wow.
wasn't. There's no precious stones in it. It was just like sterling silver.
Mhm.
So I
But
don't
you
know.
didn't. But it wasn't like a sign from someone that you thought. You
I
just,
don't think so. I didn't think of anybody. I just thought, what's going on?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The
That's
mystery of it all. So yeah, very odd. Right. So
So
Nicole will ask the question. Are you
the
ready?
big question. All right, this is the question we ask pretty much every guest because Andy and I, we have differing opinions.
Okay.
If you could know everything about the paranormal, supernatural, how everything works, would you want to know?
But the second part to the question is,
Oh, there's a
if,
second.
yeah. So if and when if you used to say yeah and you could find everything out, would you then not be annoyed because there's no mystery of it anymore?
No, you are leading the witness.
Just sit
You're
down,
leading-
be quiet.
No, let her answer first, and then you can plead your case.
Basically, once you find out, that's it. There's nothing to investigate anymore. There's no mystery. It is what it is. It's the black and white. Shh.
I don't think, even if I said yes, I want to know everything there is to know right now
Yeah.
about the paranormal, everything there is to know about it. What's to say that 15 minutes from there's going to be things thrown in that then you're going, oh, what the heck is that then? So I think it's going to evolve continually, just like everything else.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep having to guess and trying to experiment and try to figure out with whatever tools we have and working together to try to figure out. But I'm going to say I'll just stay I'll stay in my lane and keep working the way I am. But now, if you had asked me if I could be magical, yes, please. I want to be magical right now.
Mm-hmm. See, my whole thing is like, even if you know the what's, right? You know how everything works. You know that this is what this is. And when the REM pod goes off, it's a ghost sitting here going like this to it. Why? Like, there's always a why. There's a how.
Because if you see a spirit, you'll know why that spirit's there, where they're from, what they're doing, where they come from, where they go, what they do when they're not spiriting on Earth.
Start singing Cotton Eye Joe.
No, June did start kicking in, but
I could hear that.
You would know everything about that. You'd know what greys are. You'd know what puckwodgies were, fairies, owls, goblins, all like the fae folk, all that Bigfoot. You would know what their connection is to the paranormal realm, why they are here, what they're doing. So, yeah, it would evolve, but would you really, really want to know? Because then none of this is happening pretty much after that.
Okay, but we know what people are, and there's still so many questions about people and about the human brain and psychology and why people do what
not
they do.
bothered about them. We don't care about them.
I care about it.
You know, if I could have, other than being magical, if I could have a gift, I feel like one of the gifts I have is finding audio, but you know, trial and error, trying to go through audio and finding that. But I would want to be able to see all of the spirits. I really would like to see that. I've only seen 5 or 6 since I've been investigating. That's it. Wow. And 2 were in reflection. So one was in like a mirrored surface of a desk. The other was in a mirrored surface of a black screen TV that was off. Right. And it's almost like my brain is telling me you're not ready to look at them. Yeah.
They're giving you a glimpse as to what's there. Yeah.
I have seen a couple straight on. I saw them out of the corner of my eye and then turned, saw this little girl at the old hospital kind of suck herself back through the door. It's just kind of went, and she was gone.
Oh.
But for a second, I saw her.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to see more spirits. I want to see them.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So I want to see more cryptids.
Oh, yeah. I want to see everything.
Yeah.
I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I want to do everything.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. Right. Well, we are, as Nicole is going to say, at the end of the show.
We are.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sin, so much for coming on. It's been
Thank you
absolutely
so much.
amazing.
I appreciate you both having me. This has been fun.
You are more than welcome. And hopefully you'll come back on.
Twist my arm. Just tell me when.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. So
I know we could have talked for like 2.5 hours today.
Oh, yeah. I could have kept going, but
I told him before you got on, he said, are you good for 90 minutes? I said, if my voice holds up, I can speak for 3 hours or, you know, just keep going.
I would, but I'm up for work in 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to going to sleep yet. So
okay. We just need to do a part 2.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do a part 2. We can get a part 2 in, definitely. So thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, new subscribers, everyone watching on Twitch, my Facebook, Sin's Facebook. You can subscribe to the channel. It is free. You can join the paid membership, which isn't free. Obviously, it's paid. There are different tiers ranging from £1, well, $2 upwards, and you can do it with Patreon and everything else as well. And well done to those who got the free membership for the next month. It is literally, I press a button and YouTube select 10 subscribers from the channel. So we don't get a choice as who they are or anything like that. So that is it. We will be back on Friday with Mark Anderson and
Frankie Adeo.
So they're going to be talking about paranormal psychology because that's kind of what they both do. So it's all good. So until then, thank you again, everyone. And we will speak to you very soon. If you guys can stay on, I may be able to tell you a little bit more about what's going on. I just can't make it public yet. So is that all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So we'll see you guys on Friday, 8:30 UK time, back to normal, 3:30 EST, 2:30 CST, 12:30 noon Pacific time.
And as I remind everybody, every week, just hit the subscribe button and it'll tell you. You don't have to memorize all these times.
Exactly. Yeah. Where I do. Where
Yeah.
I do. Right. So thank you again. And we'll see you Friday. So take care, everyone. And goodbye.
Patreon, which both have a number of different tiers, or you can donate via PayPal. Links are in the channel description. This episode will also be available as audio wherever you listen to your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc., as well as being available on Audible. Thanks for watching. See you next time.